Hello, sports fans, one and all, and welcome to NFL Head Coach Update for the PS2 with Mr. Greg Giacometti, being the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm Roger Cosell, and my goodness, it's so great to join you fans once again to tell you the story of the great NFL Head Coach Greg Giacometti. Now, Mr. Giacometti continues his knowledge, continues his wisdom, continues his God-given gift as a head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, as a head coach of the NFL. Season number 8 starts off, and Coach Giacometti has one of the toughest decisions that an NFL head coach should go through, and that's how to make the team better after suffering a real loss as far as player roster goes. Now, Coach Giacometti saw the retirement of Ray Lewis and Jeremiah Trotter, two great middle linebackers that the NFL had to offer for so many years. And how did Coach Giacometti deal with that? He picked up big Ray Seabour, a 260-pound middle linebacker, and he took care of that right away. Also, Coach Giacometti has Larry Foote, who will also be having the middle linebacker duties to substitute in for Ray Seymour. Also, Coach Giacometti in the free agency picked up a man named Monty Murphy at the left end position. Great defensive end there is Monty Murphy. Kyle Lomax picks up at the left end position. And then Coach Giacometti does one of the most interesting things I've ever seen, folks. Most interesting. He gets pick number 31 in the first round of the draft and picks up Raheem Brock from the Indianapolis Colts. Great move in my book. Great move. He had a perfect preseason, people. 4 wins and no losses. In week 12, Giacometti got his highest victory yet to date of these 8 years. 71-7, a shellacky, lackluster, horrifying performance by the Dolphins. 7 turnovers in the ball game, as far as fumbles, and as far as a interception, 4 interceptions. 2 by Mike Doss from the strong safety position, and from the free safety position, Roman Harper had 2 as well. Offensive Team of the Year, folks, for Coach Greg Giacometti on the season. That's his second in a row, I believe. Another home field advantage clinched throughout the playoffs for Coach Giacometti. His 4th year in a row as head coach of the year. 4th year in a row. Not many coaches could say that they've had that, except for Coach Greg Giacometti. Greatness. G is for greatness. That's Coach Greg Giacometti. Giacometti. Greatness. Greatness. 13-3 on the regular season. Goes into the playoffs. Beats the Chargers out 27-9. Goes into the AFC Championship game. And loses to the Cincinnati Bengals 31-28. Oh, it was a horrible loss. In the last seconds, as the field goal is up and hit is good, and the Steelers couldn't get anything going from there as Big Ben Roethlisberger is picked off at the 20-yard line when a possibility for a scoring situation to actually get him into the end zone and win the ball game. But nonetheless, it does happen that way, folks. It happens that way. But Coach Giacometti is the man. He is the man, and that's why we are here today to talk NFL head coach for the PS2. Also, the Lions were the ones who are in the Super Bowl, 17-12. And you know, I myself would love to have seen teacher versus student, but that was not to happen. Richard Kyle was fired from the Detroit Lions to begin this season 8, for his 2 or 3 years he had there in Detroit. He only had 1 year of a winning season, so they decided to can Coach Richard Kyle. He should have learned a little more. Should have listened a little more to Coach Giacometti, and that would not have happened. This has been Roger Cosell. I hope you've enjoyed this NFL head coach update for the PS2. As Coach Greg Giacometti of the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's all I have, down to my colleague right now. Thank you so much, Roger Cosell and Uncle Greg. Roger Cosell basically summed up Season 8 for us, and wow, just a great season, but like I said, it's just one of them things where it just happens, and you know, we were unable to get the actual Super Bowl victory, but nonetheless, another winning season for you. Antrell Wyfall of the Eagles says 12 million over 5 years. Corey Mansfield again for the Panthers, wanting you so bad, 9.6 over 3 years. Lake King of the Jets, 7.4 over 2 years. 3-year contract extension. Leon Freewilling says, you know, Greg, you're my go-to guy. He says, I'm going to extend your contract. 3-year contract extension worth $20.68 million. He has set up the things he wants to happen here for the next season 9. He wants to go to the conference championships. He wants to maintain pass defense, continue to convert on third down. He wants to finish in the top 4 of the best rushing offense. And he wants to score in the red zone more. Head coaching staff. The coaching staff beside yourself, of course, as head coach Uncle Greg, has basically stayed the same. Greg Olson still remains the offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator still remains Joel Smith. Linebacker coach is Kevin Butler. Bob Sanders is the defensive lines coach. Andy Heck, offensive lines coach. Running back coach Emmett Lee. John Hoke, defensive backs coach. Mark Whipple is the quarterbacks coach. James Daniel is still our tight end coach. Herm Edwards, Herman Edwards is pronounced both ways. I've heard it pronounced both ways by different areas. He's our special teams coach, and wide receiver coach remains still Nate Jenkins. Your coach's bio basically has stayed the same in the aspect that it says 94 wins and 34 losses, no ties, 73% winning percentage, 15-4 in the postseason, with a record of with the winning percentage of 79%. And one of the things that puts a smile on my face, through 9 seasons, or through 8 seasons rather, as we are, Coach Giacometti has never had a losing season. Uncle Greg, you are the best, you are the greatest, you always will be in my eyes. Thank you so much for joining me, Uncle Greg, for your NFL head coach for the PS2 Season 8 update, as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. For those of you watching this around the world on YouTube.com, I appreciate you watching. I love you, Uncle Greg, and we'll see everybody back here, including you, Uncle Greg, for Season number 9's update of you as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, NFL head coach for the PS2.